high grade 5 Kuwaiti syllabus. Today I will go to unit 4 in your book Fun with English grade 5. But before I will go to our unit today, I would like to say don't forget to make share, like, subscribe to my channel, send you new videos. Let's go to our lesson today. Today is the lesson is about weather and climate. Okay, so here we'll talk about the weather. How is the weather? Cold, cold, snowy, hot, warm, and so on. Okay, so this is the conditionals of the cold and climate, of the weather and climate. Let's read the vocab related to this unit. Here we have climate, forecast, snowstorm, trek, clear, sandy. Sandy here is an adjective. Heavily is an adverb. Okay, as we know, last class I explained that when we put li to the adjective, it will be adverb. It will return to adverb. Okay, hero, imaginary. When we say he acts happily, so here I replace happy in adjective by describing the action. So here is the action changed from adjective to what? To adverb. I adding ly to the adjective. So this in this case it will be turned to adverb. Okay, here is heavily, hero, imaginary, power, suddenly, thin, freeze, emergency, source, paramedic. Here is paramedic, dust storm. I think all of us know the dust storm, and I think all of us know this in Egypt when we have the wind of Hamasin. Here is dust storm. Here is put on, turn on. So when we put on means something is opened. Okay, put on or turn on. On here means open. Off means close. Okay, when we say put off or turn off means I close or I don't wear this thing. Okay, so here is when I replace on by off, I means the close. Department, mass media. All of us know mass media. Predict. Here is predict. System. Atmosphere, agency. Here we have mass media. Predict. Here is predict. Here is mass media. Predict, system, atmosphere, and agency. Let's do the exercise applying in this part. It's no space in Canada in winter. Kindly, specially, joyfully. I think it's not joyfully. Snows is not joyfully, or not especially, or not kindly. So the correct one it will be heavily. When you say also rains heavily, so here means something the climate is strong and harm us. Okay, the space drives an ambulance and helps people. Here is paramedic. Let's go to another one. It's dark here. Can you space on the light, please? So it will be when we have on, we must put the when we use on means something is open. It will be here turn on. Food gives us the power. Okay, the power to live and do every work. We can say also energy. We can, if we don't have power, we say also gives us energy to work. The fire started in the building, and I was unable to breathe. The next one, the spaces of desert is mostly hot and sunny in day. It will be the climate. I like playing volleyball on the sandy beach. Okay, most of us like to play the ball, not volleyball or not volleyball, play football, play anything on the beach. I think most of people do this. Okay, our grandma told us a space story about a fair land full of giants. Imaginary. So here my grandma and my grandmothers at all can telling the story and helping and making our imagination. Okay, so here we say imaginary means not real. Okay, not real, not have the these things on the land or on the real that we live in. Okay, this is the meaning of imaginary. Imaginary means we make our imagine. Okay, let's go to another item here, which is reading comprehension. Let's read this comprehension and answering the question below. As we told you, grade 5 before, that reading comprehension depends on understanding the text. You must understand the text and learn, and you must read the text very well, then answer the question. And why? Because in the comprehension is an easy question, as we know, but we have something beyond the meaning, so we must understand every word in the text. Let's read this text and answer the question below and know what this text wants from us. People can travel in different ways. Traveling by plane is easy and comfortable. It saves our time. So here we talk about what? About the plane and how the plane is easy and comfortable and save time when we travel by plane. Okay. And you can sleep while traveling by plane. Okay, I think in the train is also is comfortable, but not like the plane. But it is the most expensive. So here we say comfortable and have all these benefits, but expensive, because the ticket of the traveling is very expensive. Okay. Traveling by car is very interesting. You can go and whenever you want and stop in any place. You can enjoy the view of the nature, and it is not so expensive. Sometimes traveling by car is boring because it takes a long time to travel from one country to another, and you can get tired. I think traveling by ship is the most dangerous. The high waves frighten people, and it takes a long time. What if the title of this passage said? It will be here: ways of traveling, views of nature, traveling by ship, saving time without thinking, ways of traveling. Let's go to another one. Here, expensive, the opposite of expensive without thinking, cheap. Okay, I know, all of us know expensive, the opposite of expensive, it will be cheap. It here in the line 4. Where is line 4? Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is line 4. It. So we say here, I read the line, and then I know it refers to what? You can go whenever you want and stop in any place. Okay. You can enjoy the view of the nature, and it's not expensive. So here it refers to what? To traveling by car. Here is traveling by car. Here is talk about what? About traveling by car here. So it refers here to traveling by car. People who travel by car can what here, as we know, can get tired. So I select this one. So when we answer the WH question, we must write the complete sentence. Don't write, here we say, which way is the fastest? We say the fastest way is traveling by plane. Don't say by traveling by plane without writing the complete answer. You must write the complete answer like this. The fastest way of the traveling is traveling by plane, as we know here in that text. Let's go to another one. Why traveling by ship is the most dangerous? Because what here, as we know, because we have frightened waves frightened, because we have high waves frightened, and this is dangerous for people. Let's go to the grammar section here, or the grammar corner. My mother drove space to cooperate society. Drove carefully. So here when we're adding ly, so this means what? Means adverb. So here we talk about adverb. When we use should to for advice. We use should here for advice, must for obligation, should for advice, can for the ability. As we know, all these may for possibility. If we have think is possible or possibility, we say may or might. Okay, we have may or might for possibility, can for ability, should for advice. We have should for advice and must for obligation. So we say we must study hard to succeed, to pass the exam. So here there is no way to do anything except studying to pass the exam. Okay, so here must here means obligated. My father always says me space study your lessons well. You should. So here we don't mind. The next one, my parents are always right. So here it means this is the reason that I would like to say, right? So we have to obey him. So must say okay for anything that we tell for me. So here we say my parents are always right. So we have to obey them. So we obey our parents because my parents always what, like when we use when we replace so by because, say the reason. Okay, this is the difference between so and because. So because we say because, but so here is the is the case, is the result of we use here. So here is the result of doing this thing. When we say my parents always right, why always right? So we have, so here we have to obey them. So when I replace so by because to say the case, we obey my parents. I say here we obey my parents. I say we obey my parents. Why? Because my parents are always right. Okay, let's go to another one here. As we told you before last video about but, and you're saying that but used for two contrast sentence. Okay, sentence is in the affirmative form and another one in the negative form. We know this in the previous video. If you return to the last video, you can see what I told you, that but we use but when we talk about the two sentences are contrast to each other, one in affirmative form and another one in negative form, like this one. The exam was easy, he couldn't answer it, but he couldn't answer it. Here is we say, as we told you last video, I told you that any verb followed by any verb comes after any modals like should, like can, like anyone, we must be in what? In the infinitive form, like this one. My father might buy. Here is buy in the infinitive form. Here we use didn't. So when I use didn't, it means that I return the verb to what? To the stem form. When we use doesn't, doesn't have s. So when I put does, I omit the s. When I use didn't, I return the verb to the stem also, like we do in the simple form. Okay. So here we say people didn't have. So here when we don't have didn't, I can say had. But here we have didn't. I put the verb in the infinitive form. It will be here had. Let's go to another one here. Here we say we space our grandparents last weekend. So last, when we think with me or when we guess with me, last is the keywords of what? Of the but simple form, which what means what? Means adding ed to the verb. Let's do this together. Here is it will be visit, wrong. It will be visiting, wrong. Why? Because visiting is ing, and we know that the present continuous tense am is r plus verb plus ing. Here is in and am is r. So I put what? I put here visited. Let's go to another one. I don't like eating fish or meat. Here you have this one or this one. Okay. Ali was ill. So Ali was ill. What is the result of that? What is the result of it? So he went to the doctor. So when we say Ali went to the doctor, I would say he went to the doctor. Why? Because he was ill. Okay. This is when we replace so by because. It's cloudy today. It's space rain. It might rain. Okay, cloudy, and I think that it might rain. It's not. I'm not sure if it's rain or not. Children space play football in the street. It is dangerous. Children shouldn't play. So here we have two paragraphs. Let's read it together. Here is the paragraph about the dust storms. Let's read this. Let's do this paragraph together. Here we talk about when dust storms happen. Here I have WH question: when, where, why, and what. This called the 4WH. Okay, we say here when dust storms happen, where dust storms start, why they are dangerous, what you should do in a dust storm. Okay, so here when I ask about the time, where I ask about the place, why I ask about the reason, what I ask about something. Let's answer this question to make a good paragraph. Here we say, when dust storms happen? In summer. So here the dust storms here in summer. I think in Egypt in spring, not in summer. Dust storms happened in Egypt in summer, in spring, not in summer. Is different. This is different climate from one country to another. Okay. Where does storm start? In desert. Why they are dangerous? Because because you may get dust in your mouth and nose. Okay, this is like khamasin in our country. Okay, what you should do in a dust storm: cover your nose and go inside. Dust storms. Let's read it together. Dust storms usually happen in summer. They start at the desert or near the desert. Dust storms are dangerous because you may get dust in your mouth and nose. In a dust storm, you should cover your mouth and nose with the clothes, like we say, like we can do it, like we can happen in the period of Corona. All of us wearing the mask. Okay, so here we say when we put a cover like a mask that we put it in during the period of Corona, like this one. Nose with a cloth and go inside as quickly as possible. Let's go to another one here. Here is a paragraph, and we make and answer the questions to make a paragraph. Here is Canada. Last winter, snowy, went excited skiing. Here is when you went there last winter. So here we talk about what? About Canada. Okay, the place that I spent our holiday in. How the weather was, cold and snowy. Why you did there when went skiing? Went skiing. How you felt? I felt excited. Let's read this paragraph together. My last holiday. So I talk about the last holiday and when I go and where I go to spend my holiday. Last winter, I went to Canada to spend my holiday. The weather was very cold and snowy there. I went skiing. I went skiing with my family in the mountains. I felt very excited. Here we say, space brings a lot of snow and strong winds. It will be here, snowstorm. Let's go to another one. In Canada in winter, the space clears the snow from the road. The track. Here is the track that that clears snow from the road. Okay. I hope to be like this in Egypt and in all our Arab countries like this development country Canada. The space gives people help in the emergency cases. Here is paramedic. Let's go to another one. People like to go out of these cities to space, clean, fresh air. To our cities to breathe fresh air. I need to space my computer to make my project. So when I want to work on the computer, I do what? I turn on. Let's go to the last one here, which is the words in two syllables or combined syllables. In the exam, I think this come in the exam. We have say here like this one. Weatherman. Here is the words in two syllables, and we do it, and we can write it by yourself. Here we say weatherman. It would be his weatherman. Driver. I think all of us know driver. Snowstorm. Here is we say snowstorm. Heroes. We say here heroes. Clothes. They are clever people. Quickly. Adverb. Countries. We omit y and adding IAES to the noun. Okay. I think all of us know the nouns that y is omit and adding IES to some of nouns. Take this. Omit s and adding IES. And we have some nouns that we omit f and adding VES to the noun, like knives, like leaves, and so on. Okay. Here we have countries. Here we have stories. Here we have snowy, improving, heavily, sailor. Here is stop, activities, sandy, sunny, windy, uncomfortable. Here is uncomfortable. Here we have three syllables. Uncomfortable. Here is three syllables. Here is windy, one syllable. Here is taller. Here is smallest. Okay. Today we stop here in Unit 3. I hope to benefit and enjoy our video today. Thanks a lot. Until we meet again. Goodbye.